All right. Hey, what's up, y'all? How are you? Peace to everyone, to all the gods and goddesses out there. And I'm just checking on. I'm just checking on y'all. I wanted to have some spiritual conversations today. I'm trying to do two things at once, so forgive me if I be rambling, cause I just messed up on one thing I did, and so I'm trying to redo it. But today to be about spiritual conversations, spiritual discussions. 1 second. All right, I got it. Okay, so I just put the link in the chat if anybody wants to come up and say their point of view or whatever. But so today I was inspired to just go spiritual with my conversations today because I was watching somebody who was like a spiritual intellectual. I like her a lot. I agree with like I say about 97% of everything she said. The only thing that it was only one thing that I caught that I did not agree with, but she was talking about being reborn. I don't know if a lot of people believe in that. See, a lot of people are so close-minded when it comes to things like that because of the strict guidelines in which religion have taught you that there's no room to believe this or that. It only could be just strictly this line here or something. So that kind of controls how you feel about everything. Like even like what I do. Religion teaches you, well, not in one breath, religion will teach you that it's evil. In another breath, it'll teach you that it's a gift from God. And what I mean by that is like, um, so I'm spiritually gifted in a lot of different ways. More than what were named in the Bible. Like I didn't even know, you know, that this many versions of gifts actually exist, but I just keep getting more powerful and more powerful. Like, and I'm not even really applying myself the way I could. If I was, I'll probably be dangerous. But anyway, um, so like what I meant by what I just said about one breath they'll teach you that it's wrong and evil because they'll say God feels like it's blasphemy, that's psychics and something else they said. They said different things, right? But then in First Corinthians chapter 12, verse 7, if you did not catch that, allow me to say it again. First Corinthians chapter 12, verse 7. They start going, it's about verse 7 through 12 or something like that. But they start going into things and specifics about God will give you gifts and will give you these gifts severally. That means more than one gift. Okay. So, and they start saying different stuff. Interpretation of tongues, dreams, visions, um, miracles, performing miracles. Um, I can't really remember everything they say. Discernment. Um, I can't remember and be precise and be exact in it right now. But like I said, in the next breath, they tell you that this is a blessing from God. So you just have to pick and choose what you want to believe from religion. Like, don't let religion control you. You control what you believe in your religion. Okay? So, hello. So, so I just wanted to talk about little different spiritual conversations because I was having I saw a conversation this morning where this lady was saying um what did she say? Oh, she said that when it comes to being reborn, that you choose to be reborn. Now, I agreed with her all the way up until there because she also said that, in the afterlife, you also decide how, uh, how you move or what moves to make in the afterlife, just like you did in your life. And that's true. I agree with that. But she said you decide whether you want to be reborn. And I don't agree with that because I literally asked God this. And I believe that God decides when you're reborn because it's people that like have lived and have been gone for decades upon decades, but they're still not ready to come back to earth. It's like God decides when you're ready. Like nobody would know when you're ready better than God. Like you might think you're ready, but then when you're thrust into it, you're not ready. Like for instance, a perfect example of this is like Tupac. Let's take a person like Tupac. Because that man had been through a whole hell of a lot in his 25 years of life. I mean, he lived the life of a 100-year-old man, okay, in 25 years of his young life. So, like, let's say, okay, I'm just going to break down some things that happened to him. Now, just along his life. So, first of all, he was born. Well, I don't know if he was born with the last name of Shakur, but I'm going to say he had the last name of Shakur. And ever since they knew he had the last name of Shakur, he was a target. He became public enemy number one. Let me inform you all of that because that last name Shakur is synonymous with the Black Panthers and it's also synonymous with the Black Liberation Army, which was painted to be like a radical, wild, um, um, crazy version of like the Black Panthers or something. But I feel like so I asked Fred Hammond before I spoke of this. I asked Fred Hammond, what does he want me to say? Because he is one of the leaders of the Black Liberation Army. So what does he want me to describe the Black Liberation Army as? And first I said, did you want me to describe it as a more radical version of um the Black Panthers? He said no. So I said, then all of a sudden he sent like a thought to me. Like it's crazy. It's like all of a sudden something just jumped in my head and just told me. I said, let me guess. You want to be known as the muscle of the Black Panthers. And he said, yeah. So that message was received. Okay. So the Black Liberation Army is like the muscle of the Black Panthers. They will do the things. See, the Black Panthers are more so structured within the guidance of the law, and they know their rights and what they are allowed to do, what they are not allowed to do. The Black Liberation Army is like, we gonna do the radical, well, what people would say is the radical shit, so that we could provide for our people or whatever. Like, I guess you could describe the Black Liberation Army as like, I guess you could provide describe the Black Liberation Army as like Robin Hoods or something. Like they are known for like robbing banks or something of that nature, but that's not really what it was designed for. If they were robbing banks, it was designed to rob from the rich and give to the poor. That's why I said they something like Robin Hoods, because they will do the things that people would not think of doing, but in their mind is for the greater good of their people. So, like I was saying about Tupac, his aunt is named Assata Shakur. If you never heard of her, she is one of the people that have been I don't know if she's been exiled. I know they were looking for her. She's been on a run from the USA for years upon years, since like maybe like the 70s or something. I can't even remember. I would have to go and do real good. But anyway, his aunt name is Assata Shakur or whatever, and um she's been on a run for decades, okay? Decades upon decades. And she ran to Cuba and Cuba refused to extradite her back to the US. So that's the reason why she has never faced charges, because also in this family they have been the victim of a lot of trumped up charges when it comes to situations of this matter, because the Black Panthers themselves were targeted as a public enemy number one, just because they knew their rights and knew they were allowed to carry guns. As long as they weren't aiming them at anyone, then they were well within the rights of the law. Okay. So like I said about the Black Panthers, they studied the law. So the difference between the Black Liberation Army and the Black Panthers is that the Black Liberation Army is not going to think about the law. They're like, F the law, we're going to go do this, and then it's going to be for our people. Where the Black Panthers will be like, oh, we know this law, this law, this law, and that law, and this will get us what we want if we go this route like that. So anyway, um, Tupac was born into this type of family, which was a product. He was born the product of two Black Panther parents, which Mama Afeni later, I don't know if I want to say conform, later changed to be a part of the Black Liberation Army. I think. Hold on, let me check and see. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. So she changed to be part of the Black Liberation Army. Um, when I don't know if it's when she got with her husband or if it's after she got with her husband. So anyway, so he was born into this. So he was almost born like the golden child of the Black struggle. Come on. Like he was born to be the golden child. If y'all ever seen that movie, the golden child of the Black struggle. Okay? And he almost did it. It's just these people will try to drive you insane. Okay? And I'm talking about the ops. The ones that don't look nothing like us. The ones that work for America. And the ones that target us as prey. Okay? So, he also, so he was living his life, popping his shit, saying his rhymes, but his rhymes always had an undertone of a serious message, like a power to the people, Black Panther type of message, okay? And and as he started getting older and started getting more scarred by the system and the people that work behind the system to try to take us down, and the ones that are designed to like go after um melanated people that have a mind of their own and speak their voice loud and clear and make sure that they are heard in this world, that organization that is our ops will come after us and will take our lives and will not stop until they take our lives. And I feel like that's the same type of thing that happened to Tupac. And it was once, okay, I'm gonna say they really blatantly tried to take his life with that Quad Studios thing. I'm gonna say that one of the two people that was involved with the Quad Studios thing was FBI. Okay, I had went over this question a million times. This person was FBI, and it would be the one that you would. Well, both of them that was involved in that, you would never think that one of them would be FBI, but one of them was really FBI. Okay, badge and all. Okay, and it seemed like the grimiest, gutterest street one, but he was the FBI. So he worked for the FBI. He was an agent in the FBI. And he got away with a whole bunch. And everybody thought he was the street cat, but he was not no street dude. He was FBI. And they sick him on targets that they want to take down. And Tupac was one of those targets. I'm going to say that. And because Tupac didn't go along with his agenda, whatever that have been, that's why Quad Studios happened. It was made to look like a robbery, but it was meant to take that man's life. Okay? And that man took 5 bullets and still healed back. 2 bullets to the head, still had all his sense. You know he was divinely blessed in that. So anyway, he's attacked in this way. Then at this very same time, one of those same agents, okay, one of those same agents sick this girl and these RAPE charges on him, okay? And at this very time, head bandaged and everything, if you go back and look at history, like head bandaged and everything. So at this time, they start putting this case on him, trying to say that this girl was RAPE'd by him, which was not the truth, because when he met this girl, first he met her through one of them agents, but also they was at a dance club or something, and She gave him fellatio. If you don't know what fellatio means, it's something that you learn in health school. But she gave him fellatio on the dance floor. Okay. So if you look up fellatio, you'll know what I'm talking about. But yes, she gave him fellatio on the dance floor. Okay. And somehow, some way, and she came to his house to have intercourse with him. They did their deed, and then it was like a situation where Pac went to sleep, and then when he woke up, this girl comes into his room screaming that people done did something to her, and then how he's the only one on trial. Help me understand. I don't understand. This is the type of shit that people be going through. So not only was he shot unjustly, just out of the clear blue, I believe targeted by a three-letter organization that works for America. Um, then in the midst of this, him trying to heal from this, being shot 5 times, bandaged head and everything. Now he's on trial for RAPE, which he did not have nothing to do with. If anybody should have been on trial, it should have been the people in the house, not him, the one that was asleep. Okay. But I believe that girl was put up to that by the man who introduced Pac to her, which was the same guy who was part of that robbery. It's the same guy that worked for that three-letter organization. Okay. So also then, all right, so now he gets convicted of forcible touching the buttocks. Yo, this is the type of fuckery that they tried on this man. Just because his last name is Shakur. Just because. So then they convict him of forcible touching of the buttocks. Because that's the only thing they could even come up with, because all the rest of the shit was thrown out because it was all bullshit and made up. So um that's the only thing they come up. So he was supposed to get 2 years for this. Okay. So I'm not clear if it was supposed to be an appeal and that he was supposed to be out fighting his appeal. Was that what it was? Yeah. So he was supposed to get out on bond to fight for an appeal or whatever. So at this time, he ends up having the #1 album out while he is locked up, right? So he is #1 on the charts, because this is right around the time where everybody was like, oh, he hard, he a thug because he went to jail, he in jail, and he put his album out, and so his shit went straight to #1 because this is what they was into at this time. So his shit went straight to #1. Everything #1 that he put out. So he goes to his label and says, yeah, I know my shit #1. Let me get this much so I could bail myself out, whatever, whatever. They start giving him the runaround like they ain't got his motherfucking money. This is the type of shit. So anyway, this is how he ended up with death row, because Jimmy Iovine allegedly, I'm gonna say allegedly, everything I say is allegedly, it's right at the bottom of the screen. So Jimmy Iovine started giving him the runaround from jail and saying that, you know how they do. Oh, well, we don't have that money in our possession yet. You just became #1. You know how they do when they got millions upon millions upon millions, in some case, billions upon billions. So anyway, so Pac starts snapping because he know they got their money. Now, this is how I end up in Death Row's grasp. But yeah, that's one of the worst decisions. I hate that decision for him. Like, it ruined him. It ruined him as a man. So anyway, he ends up with Death Row because Suge was the only one that came there and said, what you need? $1 million to buy out? Shit, here's $1 million right now. You can buy them right out right now. And something else he gave him, I can't remember what it was, but he had him sign a contract right there on either paper, toilet paper, some type of shit. They made a street contract right up there at the jail at that moment. I wish he would have talked to somebody about that contract before. I don't remember what actually was said on the contract, but anyway, so that's how he ended up with Suge. So now he goes with Suge. Suge is in business with ex cops that are protecting him, supposedly, quote unquote, protecting him from danger and shit. So I believe that these same ex cops and off duty cops are the ones that are responsible for Tupac's death in Las Vegas. I really do. So all of these different things that happened to this one man. So, if it came to, he might think that after, how long has that been? Hold up, 0616. Maybe after about 25 years or so, you would think you ready to be reborn. But I really don't think he ready yet. I really don't. And God don't either. That's why he's still in the afterlife right now. So this is what I was explaining about. Sometimes you could have been in the afterlife for decades upon decades, but you will not be reborn because you are not ready. All the mental, physical, emotional trauma that you have been through will prevent God from sending you back because you are not ready yet. Now, for me, where people might not believe me, but I really don't care what nobody believes. For me, I know that my last past life, I was a Black Panther. A power to the people, Black Panther. What is the odds though? But I was a power to the people, Black Panther. I was pretty well known, I would say. Like, um, I think people knew who I was or whatever. So I died, uh who I was before now died in 1969. But in my case, I was reborn in less than 15 years. So it's different strokes for different folks, but I don't know what made me more ready to come back because I was assassinated and I was assassinated by the boys in blue. Okay? But um I don't know what made me ready to come back faster than Pac is ready to come back, or faster than Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is ready to come back, or faster than Fred Hampton is ready to come back. I don't know. I don't know what makes my story different than their story. But it's all God's decision, whether you're reborn or not. So, um, I just wanted to touch on those type of things and that type of conversation. And if anybody got any questions, or if anybody want to come up and pop their shit and say whatever they want to say about being reborn, or their thoughts about being reborn, you're more than welcome to. If not, that's okay. But I just wanted to do a quick conversation on being reborn. Hey, Shar. So yup. But I just wanted to do a quick conversation on being reborn. Um and also, if you cultivate your gifts and like meditate and wonder whatever you want to know, think upon that as you meditate, or ask that out loud if you want, while you're meditating, and you will find your answers. Like, the universe and God will answer you. So, like, you could too find your past lives, whether you know them or not yet. You could know them. Like, everything that I say I have, everyone is capable of everything that I do that is powerful. It's just that a lot of people are just not open to believing that they are that powerful. So that's all it is. So I think that's it for today. Um I just wanted to give anybody a chance to conversate back about what I was just talking about. But um that might be it for today. And thank you for joining me. Um, please like, please subscribe, please comment, please support the channel. Hit that cash app. And that's it. That's all I got for today. All right. Peace.